Good afternoon. Happy weekend. This is April 30th. The last trading day of the month was yesterday. And what a nasty, nasty day it was. So we'll cover today the market, what I'm seeing here, and I go through some potential setups that I went through on my scans today. Um, that was I kind of went a little bit overboard today. I did about a couple thousand stocks just to kind of not to look for setups in a thousand in that many stocks, but I like to go through a lot of stock charts. One, because it gives me an idea, a really good idea on the overall market. In other words, if I see very, very minimal setups and just weird looking charts and a lot of volatility, a lot of like big bars and just nothing really like setting up, that tells me something. That tells me that the market is just not conducive to going long and being aggressive. Now, if I start seeing also rotation in sectors, if I start seeing a lot of we're now with a lot of energy, a lot of commodities, a lot of oil stocks. If I start seeing I don't know, retail come in, semiconductors, computer software, and I start trickling in some of those industries in basing out in proper setups in tight action and potentially setting up, then I'm seeing the turn. I'm kind of seeing ahead of time, kind of like a little canary in the coal mine, where you start seeing the direction the market is moving towards. So you got to kind of heads up. Maybe they're not ready yet, but you start getting the feel, and that's why you're always engaged with the market, because the market could turn on a dime. We could have one or two good days, a mediocre day, and then boom, fourth, fifth day have a follow through day, and then we're off to the races. And then you're like you got caught. We're like, okay, do I start buying now? What's going on? Like, so you're constantly looking at stocks. You're constantly looking at charts. You're not necessarily every day buying something, but you're engaged with the market. You're looking for setups. You're looking for rotation in different sectors. You're seeing what industries are working better than others and what stocks are setting up. You start seeing a lot more stocks over the 50, over the 200, over the 21, or not. You start seeing a lot of stocks falling below the 21, below the 50. So all that is, it's market driven information, market data, that it is the only thing you should be looking at: price action and what's going on in the market. Not any pundits on TV, not anybody on Twitter or anybody on the news or anybody on any of the financial channels, or you heard from this guy or this guy said this on whatever. All that is BS. Price action. If you see a stock falling below the 50, I do not care if the president of the company himself tells me it's a good buy right here. I am not buying it, because technically it's not setting up and it's not conducive to my trading strategy and my trading plan. I only trade my strategy. I only trade my trading plan. I could miss 10,000 stocks, but the 5 to 10 I'm going to catch, I'm going to make money on. I don't need to find every single little shiny object in the market to make money. I don't need to find every single stock that goes up for the day to make money and be a successful trader and be financially profitable. You don't need that. You need just 5 to 10, 15, 20 stocks in a year that really make a good move, and you found the perfect pivot, the perfect entry, and they're going to make your year. You continue doing that year after year, you're going to be financially rewarded, and you're going to have a very good trading career. So just keep focus on one thing. Just keep your attention and your discipline on one system, on one trade setup, on one strategy, and just repeatedly, wash, rinse, repeat. Look for it and trade that one setup. And if it works, and if it doesn't work, then you know that's the wrong setup for you, and then look for another one. But don't trade 10 different systems or 10 different strategies in the market, because that in the long term, you're not gonna be successful. That's just not just my experience. That's just you know, history has taught us that. So, the market right now. Oh, another thing I want to kind of ask you guys, if you guys don't mind, um, I want to get I want to get some feedback on these videos and kind of like what you guys look for, what you prefer, so I can kind of fine tune these things that I do to the benefit of you guys. So, just basically two things I want to know, and if you could reply back to the on the YouTube channel, you could reply back in the comments, you could text me directly, you could text me on the group chat, email me, however you want to communicate it to me, but just kind of let me know two things. One, what time length do you prefer on these videos? Do you prefer like a longer video, like a 45-minute to an hour video? Do you prefer something in the middle range, 20 to 30-minute videos? Or do you prefer something more quickly, more quicker, like, like a 7, 10, 12, 15, 17-minute video kind of thing? Just kind of what time range of length do you prefer on an ongoing basis for the videos? That's one. And then within the videos, the next thing I need feedback on, what what do you want me to focus on more? Do you want me to focus more on the market itself, like just analyzing the market, the indices, and what I'm seeing? Do you want me to focus more on specific setups, and you want like just stock setups, and you want stock alerts, and you want like trading ideas? You just want stocks. You want stocks, or do you want more? I guess my little ranting in the prior 5 minutes were, my thoughts on trading and philosophy and kind of mindset and so forth. Just kind of give me an idea of what you prefer. Or my trades. You want me to go over my trades, what I have on more? Like, I don't know. Just give me some kind of feedback on what you're going to focus on more on these videos and the time length that you prefer. Please, if you guys don't mind, just any format you want to communicate it to me, just communicate it to me in a way. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much on that. Okay, so I digress. The market, it's shitty. Bye. And I mean, it's basically like, we undercut these lows from back in March. So, and then we undercut them, and then we went down hard on Friday, and we finished at the low. The only saving grace is we're kind of going into we're doing it in lower volume relative to a recent high, but it's not like really low volume. It's still kind of up there. It's still below the 50-day moving average on volume. We don't have this huge spikes like we did here, but it's still looking bad. The the S&P, same thing. It undercut these lows, and is now hunting for this one. Now, again, my observation. I could be 1,000% wrong. My observation. To me, this here, it's looking like this here, and something like this here, where like we had nasty days, and we finished that one big nasty bar, ending on the low, and then the next day we flush it down, and then we end up on the high, and then we go off from there. Something like this, where we flush, we end on the low, we undercut the previous low, we undercut this previous low, and then we go up from there a little bit, and then we take off. So kind of like this one here, where we end on the low, and then the next day we have a nice big rally, we come down again, so we kind of filter. So again, just my observation. Monday, it's normally a continuation of Friday. So my thoughts will be, we're gonna have something like this, where we like this day right here, these kind of days are kind of like this, where we're gonna flush down. Sorry, we're gonna open up and flush down. Maybe not this low, but like we're gonna go lower. We're gonna go lower than this low. This is my thought. We're gonna go lower than this low, and then we're gonna reverse back up again, and maybe close at the at a high of the day, like a blue bar, some type of blue bar. Why am I saying that? Because it's looking like patterns repeat themselves. It's kind of looking like this. Two, we're at a market timing of 3, so anywhere Before it used to be like, before here, it used to be anywhere like 20, 17, 15 was like, oh my god, we're crashing, we're gonna, we definitely gonna get a bounce. Now it's like two. The last few days, the last, few rallies, we got into like two and a half, and then we get a nice update the next day, and then we go back to like, five, six, and we get another update, and then boom, boom, now we're at three. So we're currently at three. So my thoughts again. I'm just thinking We're gonna open lower. I think we're gonna open lower. Maybe we're gonna open up a little higher. I don't know, somewhere either lower or a little higher. But I'm just saying, sometime during the day we're gonna have a flush. We're gonna have a one last final flush, and then we're gonna end up in the day on a blue bar with a hammer looking candle, where it's like you close at the high end of the bar. That's just my thought. We'll see what happens. I have no idea. We can continue to go lower, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I thought. I'm not predicting anything. Just thinking out loud. Cues. Again, same kind of concept. We broke these lows here at the low. Again, the volume is kind of a little bit decreasing. It's still high volume. After hours, it kind of stop puking a little bit and kind of revert a little bit, but that doesn't mean anything. And then what I always look at, I always look at intraday to kind of give me a sense of the intraday trend. We hit our head here twice at 3:30. I mean, yeah, and then we didn't even budge from there, even from back here. Even from back here. I think that this is my original bigger channel that I wrote that we had. Remember that we're looking at this, and then we kind of broke down. We came back up again, and we broke down again. So now we have this channel here. This is the low here that we broke at the end of the day as well. If you look at it, this downtrend, right here, we basically have 1 day of nothing, and then 1 day. Each little box, guys, is 1 day. This is one trading day. Okay, it's 15-minute bars, and it's one trading day. So we have 1 day up, and then we came back down again. Broke the trend line. We had half an hour up, and then we just went like 3 days down. And then once we did this parabolic move here, we had literally 1 day up. This is 1 day. 1 day up. The next day, we crashed down. We tried to rally the next day, crashed down, and we stayed in this little pattern here. The next day, we tried to go up, mid of the day, and then we had this, and then I think this is the one I was showing you guys. We had this little wedge, and I told you we're gonna go either way. We have to break here out of either way, and then that's the day we broke up high. So we have basically 1 day. 1 day of up. Okay, and then we came back right to that resistance. See, technically, we came back to that same spot, and then we broke down nasty. We broke down 2 levels, nasty, on Friday. So this parabolic move seems to me like this parabolic move, but this took 2 days. So can we flush up a little bit on Monday? I'm thinking we open up higher, we go down, we ended up, like I said, we ended up on the higher day. So like we'll see, but again, there's higher probabilities of a nice little bounce just because of the movement here. It's just too dramatic. It has to kind of rest a little bit, and we're on the oversold level in the market. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Okay. I guess that's pretty much it. It just we're nasty. We hit our high. We hit a higher in the Nasdaq in November. Okay, that's our high. Since then, we have not hit a high. And on the S&P, we hit a high in December. I think it was the end of December. That's what we did. Hit a high. Here's the November. Coinciding with the Nasdaq, and then we went a little bit higher. So there was a divergence of the S&P going a little bit higher into December, where this is November, this is December, and then we had the Nasdaq already peaking and going lower. So this was kind of like a canary in the gold mine, kind of like where that's it. We had one last run again because the S&P has more diversity in industries. It's got cyclical, it's got oil, it's got energy, it's got retail, it's got a whole bunch of stuff that people can, that traders can rotate into. Where the Nasdaq, the Qs, it's tech. So when tech started falling off, we had one last little run into December, and then from December we've been down ever since. Um, so the Fed is meeting. The Fed is meeting next week. We have the minutes coming up on either I think Tuesday or Wednesday. I think Wednesday the minutes come out. So the expected rate hike, it's going to be 50 to 75 basis points. It's more towards 75 basis points. So if they come in at 75 basis point, we should have a rally, or at least not continue to fall off because it's already priced in. That's what it's expected. If they go 1 or 1.25, oh man, I mean, it's just gonna fall off drastically. I don't think they're gonna go that aggressive. I don't think they're gonna go less than 0.75. They might go 50 basis point, and the market will surely rally. But I don't think that's what they want to do. I think they want to beat down the market as much as possible before they kind of cry uncle, and then they'll start easing up, and then the market will start rebounding again. I don't think we're there yet. I think we're gonna have a nice little rally into maybe the 50. Maybe like a couple of days of nice big rallies, Monday and Tuesday, something like that, and then I don't know, just fall off again. I don't know, but day at a time, price action. I'm not predicting. I'm not anticipating. I'm just looking at the possibility of things happening. Right now, there's a higher possibility of a little flush, and then we end up higher. But it could be a 1 day wonder. It could be just like this day, and then we went lower. And then this day, technically we finished higher, but this is really a down day. And then we have one up day, and then a nasty. So like, it's just all over the place. I mean, this kind of action will be nicely received, but I don't know if we have enough strength to pull this off again anytime soon. We need more catalyst, and right now with the Fed not helping the market, I don't see a big catalyst to give us a push higher. So with all that said, trade accordingly. Don't take big positions. Okay. So again, you have to do the work. You have to do the work every day. You have to put the work on every weekend. You have to look at charts. You got to see the rotation. You got to see what's going on, and then you look for setups. And if setups don't work, that tells you something. That gives you information that things are not working. So you ease up. And the more things don't work, the smaller and smaller position sizes you take. And then when you start working, you get 3 or 4 that work, then you increase your position size. And then they continue to work, you continue to increase. And then when they stop working, you start decreasing again. And that's how you trade. You don't go all in or all out. You slowly, dip your toe in the water, and if things work, then you start increasing your exposure and increasing your size in your position. So let's say, you don't want to trade more than, like, let's say 5-10 grand per position. Well, start with two grand, and then if that works, then your next trade, maybe go to 3 or 4, and if that works, maybe go to 5, and then maybe stay at 5 for 2 or 3 more, and then if they can continue to work, then go to 7, go to 8, and then if they don't work, then maybe go back to 5 and do 5 for a while. And if you have 3 or 4 that don't work at 5, go back to 3. And you have 3 or 4 that don't work at 3, go back to 2 or 1. And then you have a few that don't work at 2 or 1, then just stop, get out, and then just don't do anything until you see a very nice setup, and then start again with like 1 or 2, that kind of thing. That's how you trade, and that's how you build exposure, and you keep yourself safe. Okay. All right. So setups that I'm looking at, UAN. I'm looking at 150.33. 150.33. I like this little base action here. It took off. It completely round tripped, but now it's kind of basing right here in this little channel, right? So again, that round number, psychological number, and this was the previous high. When it broke out here, it took off. So I'm looking at this again for a breakout. UAN 150.33. NFE 40.50. I want to take out basically 40. I like this little basing action here. takes out the 21, which is right here. I'm running the 21. EQT 4011. 4011, same thing. Nice little basing action here. It came back inside. It broke 40 once. It reverted because the market was just completely just fell apart on Friday, so it took everything down with it. But look at these numbers. Look at 212% earnings increase. Look at the earnings increase from 2020, from negative number to like 92 cents, and then $3 in 2022, and then double in 2023. This is impressive. This was a nice breakout here. If you took it here at 25, you took it to 40, because if you look at it, it never really violated the 9. This is incredible. So again, look for tight action. You want tight action, and then once it breaks that, you take it. You don't want this, because then you have no stop. You have no risk management. Okay, you want tight action, so you know that's your stop. And if it breaks off and if it comes back in, that's your stop. You have risk management. If you have this, that's too loose. Okay, so this right here, that's too loose. So I wouldn't put it here. And then what's my stop right here? No, I want to put it here, so my stop is right here. Understand? Okay. All right. Boom, boom. CRK 1761. 1761. Take out yesterday's high. I like the price. Again, nice little shelf. It's basing right there. This was a nice trade right there. Look at that. Look at that. Clean on volume. Okay. It took out 11. You took it to 18. And again, there's nowhere here in this chart that you would have been stopped out. Nowhere. I mean, it never even made it to a 21. It held the 9 all the way to like 17 and a half. So I mean, obviously, I probably would have taken some profits somewhere around here. So let's say I would have taken some profits at 14.50 or 15. That's still a 50% move, guys. From 10, 11 to 15, that's a 45-50% move. That's that's good money. So that's what you look for, okay? You look for, see the little bars, see how tight these little bars are. So you do a little base here, and you take it. Now see how volatile it is. So you need it to settle down. You need this to kind of settle down, tighten up, and we go sideways for a little while, and then take off. CIVI 6127. 6127. Take out this high right here. We have this little nice long cup. We have a nice high handle that it didn't work, but it's holding the 50. It's holding the 50 nicely. So it's building a nice little base right here. So I'm looking for that base breakout. It's got earnings in 4 days, okay? It's got earnings in 4 days. So watch that. So if you do take it on Monday for whatever reason, make sure you get out before earnings. NUE 164.10. 164.10 right here. Again, nice little shelf right here. Nice little shelf right here. I like this action. I made good money on this one right here. I took it right here. I took it all the way to like 170. That was a good trade. So now it's basing again. So it came down on high volume. Well, like the whole market came down on high volume. So, but again, I want to see this. Take out that little shelf. NUE 164.10. MUSA 239.55. 239.55. Right there. This little shelf right here. Same kind of concept. It took out. This is the breakout, right? This is the breakout. Took it nicely. Now it's coming back, and then a nice little bullish high tight flag. It's basing, and then if it recovers, then that's the next move. So let it go sideways for a little bit. Maybe I would like it to go sideways for a little bit longer. Maybe hit the 21, go down a little bit further on this flag, and then take off. It's going to be a much larger move. It's got earnings in 3 days, so I probably wouldn't take it if it triggers on Monday. I want to wait for earnings and see which way this develops. LNG 145.77. LNG 145.77. Basically, I want to take out this little shelf right here. This is kind of what I'm seeing. This is the sideways action I'm looking for. Take out right here. LNG 145.77. ATI 2851. 2851. Take out this high right here. Same kind of concept. It's building a nice little shelf right here. It's holding the 50 very, very nicely after this pullback right here. If you took this prior breakout, you took it from 28.20 to 30. You know, about a point and a half. Not a great return, but again, the market is just not working. So even if you made a point, you got a couple hundred shares, that's not that bad. It kind of based, and then the market just it was too heavy and it brought it down. But every single time it held the 50. So I'm looking at this shelf to resolve itself and then take off again above 30. ATI. AIR. AIR 4903. 4903. Take out this high right here. Same kind of concept. It came back inside. It came back to the 50 right here. It's holding it nicely. The last 3 days, it held it nicely. So it's building this nice sideways action right here. So it broke out one time, it came back in. It broke out a second time, it came back in. 30 times the charm. Let's write it. There. USFD. USFD 3981. Take out this high right here. This is like a nasty big sell-off bar right here. Not necessarily something like I want to see on a base on a nice little cup and maybe getting a little handle here. But again, if it goes sideways for a little bit longer and eventually takes out this 39.73, and then we get above 40, we could definitely go to 50. USFD. CTVA. CTVA, I'm looking at 59.83. 59.83. Take out this high right here. Nice, again, this little nice shelf action here. It went below it, but it held the 50. So I want it to resolve itself. And then once it does, if it does, it takes off. That's the trade. Just like it did right here. Just like it did right here. Nice little shelf. This right here, it's this right here. It's got to resolve itself. And when it does, it went from 53 to 59. It's a nice 6-point move on a $50 stock. That's a good return. Jazz. JAZZ. I'm looking at 163.61. 163.61, which is basically that high of this day right here. So if it breaks this down trend line to the high side, I still kind of want to clear this little shelf right here. So 163.61. I like the golden cross. I like the golden cross. I like the 21. It's stacked up nicely. You got the 9, the 21, the 50, all trending higher. The 200 is a little bit slower, obviously, because of all this junk right here. So this is gonna take a while to turn upwards, but that's like a long-term chart. So like I like this. The 9 is going higher. The 21 is going higher. It's kind of flattening out a little bit, which is perfect because you want some sideways action. You want the base to build and then take off. RYI. RYI. I'm looking at 39.61. 39.61. They got this high right here. Again, a little bit too loose for me, but this is a nice little cup action here. The reason I'm assuming this failed is because from this low the base, it went parabolically up. It went up too strong, and then it cleared it too strong. It didn't have enough energy to continue after the breakout because it came from down here, so it thrusted from here. It didn't thrust from here. So you want things to kind of base out. You see here how it kind of bases out, and then when it does kind of take off, it holds it. You want here, see, you want to base out and you want to break it. You want to break it after a little nice sideways action. If you take it right here, that worked. right here, you have this downward trend line. You take this gap up, you took it from 18 to 26, 25. Okay, so this is too loose. That's why I want this little pattern to kind of solve itself. And then once it comes back, see now here, see from down here, this breakout, that's why it didn't work, because it came from here. Now, this is now basing and kind of going sideways at the breakout level. So when it does break, if it breaks with a thrust, it has energy to continue. See here, the energy was already exhausted doing all this, so it kind of had to recoup itself. Just like all this energy, it had to recoup itself. So you like it when it goes sideways, it bases, and then it takes off. I hope this helps. I hope again. Also comment if you find my extra narrative on these setups too much, or you don't care, or whatever. But I'm thinking it's like good education, because you have to train yourself on what to look for. I don't care about this. I'm not. If I see this, and let's say I don't have this. I haven't got. I'm right here. This is today, and I'm seeing this right here. I'm moving on. I don't care about the stock, because I don't want to see this. I want to see this. I want to see sideways action. I want to see sideways action, and I wanted to take it. And again, see right here, this breakout right here, if I take it, and then I get stopped out, what did I lose, guys? I lost maybe 1.5%. So that's the whole point. You want to have your setups that you have your risk is very minimal. So you want this tight action that if it does take off, great. And if it doesn't, like this one, then fine. You lost what? Like, let's say $1. Again, you have a couple hundred shares, you lost $200. No big deal. Let's say the same concept. 200 shares. You take it at 28. Let me see where this number is at. You take it at 28, and let's say you take it to 35. That's 7 points. That's $1,400. So you lost 200 and you made 1,400. That's trading. LLY. 301.05. 301.05. I want 300. I want that psychological 300 to be taken. Again, what I always tell you guys, right here, this if you take this high base here, this would have been a nice little better entry once it broke the 50 here. So let's say you take it to 250 to like 280. That's a great move. And then if you notice here, see, a lot of energy to get here, and then once you broke it, what did it do? It kind of based out a little bit, and then it took off. So you took it to 295, 314, all the way back down to 280. The 50 held. It now jolted up to 300. The market took it down on Friday. So now you want a little base action. You want a little price action base here. You want this to kind of resolve itself, go above 300, and then we might take out 314 and go to 320. Okay? MAR 17935. 17935. I want to take out this little high base right here. Same kind of action. I want to see some sideways movement here. 180 is kind of that psychological number. If it takes that 180, we can go to 185 at minimum and take a nice little profit, or hold it for like 190. Again, it's a lot more volatile, okay? But the last time this took out this space right here, we got a 15-point move. We took it at here, we had a 10-point move. We took it out here, we had a 15-point move. So now my base now is a little higher. Now I'm not worried about this base because it hasn't gotten to it. It's still above it. So now I have this little base to clear. Maybe we might go to like 180, 190, 200. Calm. CALM. I've traded this one before. I got stopped out. I think I took this trade right here, and I got stopped out for a profit. But I see that's the trend line that I had here. I took this trade. It went up for a little bit. It just meandered. Didn't do anything. I got stopped out. Took my money and ran. And then it's kind of now basing again. It's basing right here. Let me clean this up. So now we got this trade. Now we got this channel. See that? Now we got this channel. So if it breaks out from here, we can go here, or we can go back to 60. If I take this trade, I'm taking half profits here. I'm moving my stops to break even. If it goes to 60, I'm taking another 25% profit here. I'm moving my stop here. And if it continues higher, then I'm moving my stop to 60 and letting it run, and maybe let the 90 EMA be my guide to stop me out. TSN 9637, 9637 right here. See how this would have been the nice little early cheat entry. Actually, I probably would have done it here because I want the 50 to be out of the way. So once it broke the 50 here at 91, we took it all the way to 98 or so. So that would have been a nice one. But now this little base right here is in play because now we have this channel. Let me clean this up. Now we have this channel, right? So now I'm worrying about this here. I want this to resolve itself and make a play at 100. So 96.37, it goes to 100. I take partial profits. If we break over 100, my stop is 97.98, and then letting that run with with the 100 play, the century mark play. EPR, got two more guys. EPR 55.12, 55.12. I have this. This is kind of like a nice, a little deep cup here. Took off. This will be like an ideal add-on entry, and then we're building a little handle here. We went all the way down back to the 50, just like here, back to the 50. Right, the market just took everybody down with it. So I have this downward trend line right here. If it breaks yesterday's high, Thursday's high, then I'm in, which is at 55.12. I wanted to be above 55, and then my stop is like somewhere around here, 54, 53. So I have a tight stop, 1.5%, 2% max loss. And the last one, SLCA, 20.05. Again, this would have been a very nice entry right here. Look at this. You took it at 12, and let's say you got stopped out here at 14. You got almost a 18, 20% move here. And then if you take it again here from let's say 15, 16, you take it to 16 to 20, it's another 25% move. Or if you could hold it and then the 21 was your line in the sand, you took it from 13 to 20. That's a 70%. That's almost a 60% move. That's incredible. So I'm looking for this to base out. So again, this is a little bit stronger move. So now it needs to rest. The 50 is holding nicely. It's got nice numbers as far as relative to itself, where it's coming in from negative to a positive and then increasing dramatically the next year. Decent increase. My minimum 25% kind of requirement on either sales and or earnings. So again, I want 20 to be my line in the sand. I want 20 to be my deciding factor. So over 20 I'm good, under 20 I'm out. So I want that 20.05 to be taken, and then I have like a 1988 or something like that stop where it's very defined, it's very very tight. And if it continues higher, perfect. And if it breaks down, then I got stopped out. I'm back at it again. I have another alert at 20.05 and so forth until it proves me right and it goes to 30. Okay, just like it did back here. Let's say here you're doing the same play here, and then it kind of meanders around and came back inside. You get stopped out. And then you have this play. It kind of goes to 12. You got a 50-cent move, and it comes back inside. So now you have this base here, and you buy it here, and then that's when it takes off. Or if you want to wait to 12, that's when it takes off. So you lost maybe like, let's say $100 here, $100 here, and you made like 1,000 there. That's how you trade. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it. I think I went through a lot of stuff, and maybe this video is a little bit longer than I wanted to make it, but that's why I want your feedback. If you guys don't mind, please, I really will help me to kind of get better at this and give you as much value as I can and improve as I on a daily basis. So just give me some feedback on length of video. What do you guys prefer? Longer videos, 45 an hour, or somewhere in the middle, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, or something quicker where 7, 9, 10, 12 minutes, that kind of thing. And then content, you prefer me to be more focused on what? Focus on the market, analysis, my thoughts, on actual trading, how to be a professional trader, how to conduct yourself, that kind of thing. Or stocks. You want, like, I went through like maybe 20 stocks here. Like, you want stocks, you want setups. You want me to give you setups to trade. So whatever you want me to focus on a little bit more, just let me know, and I'll do my best to facilitate what you guys want from me. Have a blessed rest of the weekend, and I'll talk to you on Tuesday.